it opens up some room cross court. So the slide attack puts a lot of pressure on the block. So let's look at this example of a good slide attack. Notice how the middle hitter on the far side starts in front of the setter. She runs to the point of attack. Now she's beaten the outside blocker to the antenna. So one of two things is going to happen. The line's going to be open, or the outside blocker is going to reach sideways to try and touch the ball. In this case, the line's open, a hard line shot. But let's also back it up. Notice how the middle blocker just doesn't have time to get to the slide attack. So the middle hitter that's hitting the slide can either go hard line or look at the area cross court as well. So this is the pressure it puts on the blockers when a slide is run effectively. So let's look at the mechanics of running the slide. First of all, we want to make sure we're tracking the ball. So notice right now how the middle hitter is tracking the ball to the setter, because the ball will dictate the timing of the approach. So we track the ball to the setter. Now we're running to the point of attack. Notice how the elbows are bent and she's in good running form, because we can run faster than the outside blocker can shuffle step. So we're running to the point of attack, elbows bent. Now as she leaves the ground, right knee comes up, the left arm comes up, both to assist in the jumping action. And then the right elbow comes way back. Look at all the upper body rotation she's going to get into the attack. Full arm extension, lands on 2 feet. So we'll go full speed here. Run to the point of attack. Left arm, right knee go up. Right arm comes way back. Full extension. And we really want to underscore landing on 2 feet. We'll look at the same sequence, but from a different camera angle. So again, look at the running posture. Left arm up, right knee up, right arm way back. And look at all the upper body rotation she's getting. This is exactly what you want. Full arm extension, land on 2 feet. We'll go full speed. So the takeaways are, you want to be able to run faster than the blockers can keep up with you, which will create seams in the block. Get that. So we're running. Left arm goes way up. Right arm comes back. Right knee is helping with the jumping motion by coming up. Full arm extension. So that's running the slide attacks. That's today's Art of Coaching Quick Hit. We're going to look at Lauren Carlini, former All-American setter at the University of Wisconsin and current setter for our USA Women's National Team. And we're going to focus on two aspects of Lauren's play. One, her footwork coming out of serve receive, and then the posture that she gets herself into as she awaits the pass coming to her. The second thing we're going to look at is Lauren's ability to take a bad first contact and turn it into offense. How she tracks down balls going off the court or taking her out of system, and then her ability to set from different postures on the court, sometimes high, sometimes low, and always navigating the offense to end up with a quality swing for her attackers. So first thing, let's look at Lauren coming out of serve receive and her posture as she waits for the pass. So Lauren's in rotation 4. So she's at the left sideline. The thing we really want to emphasize is how fast she gets out of serve receive and her body posture as the ball is being passed. So as you can see, she's at the net in the position she wants the ball to be passed to along the net. But look at her body position. She's loaded and she's ready to track down anything that is not considered a good pass. So anything that's out of system, she's moving quickly to that ball. So when you work with your setters, try to avoid just having them stand at the net all the time when you're doing your setting reps. Have them come out of serve receive, and this is what you want. You want this posture and this timing. You want to be at the net, squared up, facing where the ball is coming from, in a loaded posture, before the ball is being passed. So that's going to enable you to track down the balls that don't come to you every time. And these next series of clips, we're going to look at how Lauren handles the ball that forces her to go out of system, but her job is still manufacture offense, and we'll see how well she does with that. So now we're going to look at Lauren's ability to manufacture offense from a very imperfect situation. You can see as we go through these clips, she has to set a ball that's tight, that's going off the court, that's low. So the theme is when you're working with your setters and you're doing the setting reps that are certainly important, we want to make sure that you just don't always give your setter perfect passes. Because as you can see in these scenarios, these are far from perfect. She has to drop down to one knee. She has to use her forearms a lot when she can't get her hands on the ball. So we want to make sure that you train your setters, first of all, for perfect situations. There's no question about that, and just work on footwork and repetition. But then part of the training needs to be the imperfect, the ability to control the ball off your forearms and still get a swing, the ability to set the tight ball, the ability to come off the net. You want to train for the perfect. You also want to train for the imperfect. But as you can see as we're going through these clips, even though they're not great scenarios, her hitters are always ending up with swings at the ball. And I guess that's the key takeaway, is you have to avoid giving free balls. So work with your setters in all the situations that they're going to have face on the court. So that's today's Art of Coaching Quick Hit. We're going to examine the pipe attack and a couple ways that you can run this attack out of the back row. Now generally a pipe attack will be run with your middle back player, and they'll attack out of the back row somewhere in the middle third of the court. Now, some teams will just run the pipe attack to a spot, like in the middle of the court, and regardless where the setter is, that's where they'll put the ball. We're going to show you what we did last summer at the World Championships with the youth team. So we're looking at the highlighted player, number 11, and we want to examine our keys last summer. One is we always wanted that ball to be fairly low and the same height every time. This is going to put a little bit of pressure on the block in terms of making it a challenge for the outside blockers to move in and help the middle blocker in a blocking effort. So we wanted it to be run fast, and we wanted it to be run relative to the setter's location. So it wasn't to the middle of the court. It was always based on where the setter was as she moved along the net. So our key was we wanted the attacker to be right off the setter's toes. So as you can see in this clip, how the number 11 is right on the setter. And then she moves to the point of attack. So you can see the problems that it caused the block in terms of they're focusing on their hitters going to the antenna, and we're left with a one-on-one block, which is exactly what we want in the pipe attack. So go all the way through here. She locates the setter, gets right on her toes, and we go one-on-one. Let's look at another clip, and we'll show you the timing of the slide. Now number 11 is playing middle back. And notice how the defensive move took her to her left. She sees where the ball is going, and if the set's going to be right off the setter's toes, notice how her first move is now lateral. It's not to the middle of the court. She's got to get on the setter. And our timing was when the setter's touching the ball, as you see now, we wanted the hitter on their left foot, or second step of a four-step approach. So it's right, left, right, left. We wanted her on that second left step. That way we could keep the set fairly low, and again, we're facing a split block and get a good swing at the ball. Last clip. And this will be an example of the hitter having to locate the setter. Notice how the first contact brings the setter forward. And unlike the last situation where the hitter had to move to her right to align with the setter, now she has to move to her left to align with the setter. So she's right off the setter's toes. Let's back it up, look at our timing. So the setter's touching the ball, and the hitter's right on her left step. Okay, so that's the timing we want. The block is split, and we get a good swing at the ball. So that's how we ran the slide. It wasn't to the middle of the court. It was always relative to the setter. Make sure the hitter's on that left step, and we wanted to keep it low, and hopefully we had a split block every time. So that's this art of coaching.